What's up, Eagles fans, and welcome into the All-22 review driven by AAA. I'm Fran Duffy, joined by NFL Film senior producer Greg Cosell. A huge win here on primetime Thursday Night Football. Eagles over the Giants in impressive fashion. Well, we wanted a fast start from this Eagles team, and we got it. They nearly forced a fumble on the opening kickoff, and then on the second play on defense, we get an interception from grugier-hill against Eli Manning. Greg, let's take a look here. Break this play down for us. What are we seeing here before the snap?
And they do something a little different. We talked about their pass defense and a little change up here on the second play of the game. Now notice that the Giants have three receivers. They have two tight ends and the wide receiver to that side of the field, to the wide side of the field. So that is now the passing strength because they have three receivers to that side. So now what the Eagles are going to do actually is something we don't see them do a lot of. They're a predominant cover three, single high safety defense. Here they're going to play what we call an inverted cover two. And by that I mean what's going to happen is that's Ronald Darby. He's actually going to drop. He's a corner. He's going to drop and play the safety position, the deep half to the field. Malcolm Jenkins right now, who's kind of in the box, he's going to become the underneath cover two defender, normally a position for the corner. He's a safety, so that's the inverted two part of it. Now, the next player who's really important here is Jordan Hicks. And Jordan Hicks, what he's going to do, and this is one reason you know it's cover two, is that middle hole defender, he opens and turns his body to the passing strength, meaning the three wide receiver side of the formation. That's the passing strength, and that's exactly what he does, and that is a dead giveaway that it's cover two and not cover three because it's a total difference in technique. So let's run this. Keep your eye on Hicks in particular. Look at him open up and then freeze it right here. See, you know why this is a great job, Fan? Because what does the middle hole defender normally do? He drops deep. But why drop deep if there's no one there and cover grass? This is a great job by Hicks, seeing the tight end, and instead of just dropping deep and saying, hey, coach, I did my job, I was the middle hole defender, he's actually reacting to the receiver and to the throw. And this is a great job. We can let it run now, and what happens is he's able to hit the ball into the air for the interception. Really a great job by Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, and you can see just from all the different replays just how much rotation you saw on the back end. They did a little bit of this last week against Minnesota. They busted out on the second play. You can see Avonte Maddox at the top of the screen.
That's right.
He's rotating to the middle half, but then you see that great job there by Jordan Hicks, disrupting that ball at the catch point, knocking it up. Huge start here for this Eagles defense. So Kamu gets the interception, brings them back into the red zone. 2 plays later, they reach the end zone. And here is how the Eagles get into the end zone here. Their second touchdown in the first quarter all season long. We wanted this fast start. We get the turnover from grugier-hill. Let's end it with the touchdown catch by Alshon Jeffrey here from Carson Wentz. Greg, break this down for us. It's 3rd and long. What kind of coverage are we seeing here from the Giants?
It wasn't the way it was drawn up.
No.
Let's put it that way. But what you get from the Giants, what you get from a lot of teams is what we call red zone cover two. They're going to play cover two, and they have the middle hole defender. That's Alec Ogletree. He's going to drop. And this is Landon Collins, who actually does a great job as the cover two safety because a cover two safety must be inside of the widest receiver. That's Alshon Jeffrey, of the widest receiver to that side of the field. You cannot be outside of him. Sometimes it gets dicey when the receiver has what we call a minus split closer to the formation, but Collins is a heady player, and notice he's inside. That'll become important as we let this play run, and we can let it run because there'll be a 4-man rush, and the pocket closes in on Carson Wentz, and he's forced to move. Now, Wentz moves to his right. He's looking for Smallwood, doesn't have him. You don't coach this, Fran.
No.
He throws the ball across the field. It's a touchdown. But I mentioned the cover two, and as we let this run, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There's the cover two. So Jeffrey's actually double-teamed because of the coverage concept, but then he just works with Carson. He sees him rolling out to his right, and he moves with him. And that's a really good job because, hey, he was technically out of that play based on the coverage, but he worked with Carson, saw him move. Really nice job by both players.
Yeah, and you may be watching that saying, man, this is kind of a random play, but teams practice those scramble situations. All those receivers and the quarterback, they all have rules to follow. When the quarterback breaks the pocket, the receivers all know exactly what they're supposed to do. Alshon followed the back end line and did exactly what he was supposed to do in that situation. Carson knew where to find him. I remember we had Frank Reich here in studio standing exactly where you're standing last year on a play against the LA Chargers where he threw the ball back across his body, and Frank said, you know what? You don't coach it this way, but when you have a guy like Carson Wentz, those things happen and you just live with them.
That's
and
no. Great throw. That's one of those.
The famous Brian Billick, Ed Reed NFL film shot.
That's right. Exactly.
So the Eagles go up 7-0 there. A big play that started on defense and ended with the offense. All right, let's fast forward now. The Eagles up 14-6 with just under 5 minutes left here in the first half, and they're going to see a touchdown here to Zach Ertz. Now, when the Eagles come up to the line of scrimmage here, Greg, what exactly are they hoping to see from this New York defense?
Well, as I recall, they did a lot of shifting before this play, and this was the formation they ended up in. And they have 3 tight ends on the field, Fran. Keep that in mind. That's really important to this play because you have Dallas Goedert down here, you have Joshua Perkins here, and you have Zach Ertz right there. Okay, so there's 3 tight ends on the field. Now, Ertz is the widest tight end, even though he's on the line of scrimmage. He's the widest receiver to that side of the field. So what you're going to get if you run Ertz on any kind of vertical route, you're going to get him matched up on a cornerback, Janoris Jenkins. So that means the Eagles did this by design. They wanted Zach Ertz isolated on Janoris Jenkins. They felt really good about that matchup.
Yep.
That's the reason for this formation.
Yeah, so the ball is snapped, and we're going to see off-play action here. Carson Wentz drop back.
Yeah, so let's start the play, and we can see that for sure. You see the run action, and you're going to see the touchdown pass right here. And how did Ertz get so open? We're going to see that momentarily. He ran a great route. And as we said, this is what they wanted, and this is what they got. A great route against Janoris Jenkins. He beats him.
Yep.
So that just shows you how good a player Zach Ertz is, because not only did the Eagles set that up, that was the whole point of this play. Let's isolate Zach Ertz on a corner, and a pretty good corner.
Yeah, no question. I know talking with Eagles coaches in the past, one of the things they'll say about Zach Ertz is that he attacks leverage as a route runner better than any tight end in the NFL, and you saw a good example of that.
That was a great example, because to win like that, you have to have an understanding of how to sell your routes and attack that leverage.
Yep, so the Eagles go up 21-6, take a 24-6 lead into halftime. So the Eagles get the ball to start the second half, and they drive the length of the field for a touchdown. And really, Greg, this drive was really spurned by the screen game. And we're going to see here what happens on a 1st and 10 play. This is a shot territory for the Eagles.
No
They're in the fringe area at the 40-yard line. It's 1st down. How often have we seen the Eagles go off play action and drop back? And that's exactly what it looks like here. But tell us what actually happens after the snap.
Between the 40s, Fran, is pretty much shot play territory in the NFL. And what the Eagles do here, which makes it interesting, is, again, they line up with 3 tight ends on the field. And you could think shot play for this reason. Now you're thinking protection first, because shot plays almost always feature at least 6-man protection and often 7-man protection. So with 3 tight ends, you're thinking protection. And what they do here is they go outside zone run action. It's split flow action. Looks like an outside zone run. It's very much a part of their run game.
Yep.
And then Carson Wentz does what's kind of like a half boot, a half roll. And he works outside, which very much looks like their shot plays.
Sure.
But instead of doing that, what they do is they throw a misdirection screen to Corey Clement. And it's set up so beautifully. We can take that off and really run this and see exactly what they do. Now you can see there's the outside zone run action. Everything looks shot playish now, except Wentz turns back, misdirection, deception element. You get 3 offensive linemen out front. Really well-designed play, worked beautifully, and of course, what does it set up?
No question. So a few plays later here, the Eagles get into the red zone, and now you get a touchdown here to Alshon Jeffrey, which
is really well-designed.
Yeah.
Because what you get is you get the 2 picks, essentially, and you're allowed to do that within a yard of the line of scrimmage, so it's legal picks.
Yep.
Really well set up, well designed, well done.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, another screen pass just
exactly,
to get in the end zone.
Exactly.
So a convincing win here for the Eagles on Thursday Night Football, Greg. What were the initial takeaways, I guess, as we walk away from this victory?
Well, I was looking in particular, Fran, at the offense, and I thought there was an efficiency to their offense in this ball game, and I think that showed up on 3rd down conversions, and Carson Wentz was outstanding on 3rd down in this game.
I think at one point he was 10 for 10.
Correct, I believe that's right. And last year he was the best 3rd down quarterback in the league, and this year in his starts prior to tonight, he wasn't very good, and the offense wasn't very good converting on 3rd down. We had talked about that in his starts prior to tonight, Carson Wentz, that is. I think the average third down was 8 or more yards to go, the average. So tonight he was, as you said, 10 for 10. When you convert on third down, your offense looks totally different.
Yeah, and then they get down in the red zone. They were very efficient inside the 20-yard line as well. That had been a bit of a bugaboo for this Eagles offense. So the Eagles run away with this win here on Thursday night. We've got a ton to break down over the next 10 days before the Eagles face the Carolina Panthers. Make sure you tune in to the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, where Greg and I will be talking about this win and the upcoming matchup with Carolina. That'll be dropping next Monday night. But for Greg Cosell, I'm Fran Duffy. We'll see you next week.